Hello Internet. I've been practicing the Shingyo Gunpla school recently, and thus I just completed the Gundam Build Fighters High Grade Gundam Tryon 3 kit. You might be looking at this saying, that's not a Gundam. Congratulations, your eyes work. If you have not seen Gundam Build Fighters Try, Tryon 3 is an homage to classic combining super robots / the Brave series, and a few other things. I'll probably go through each reference that it made. But point is, 3 parts that combine into one Gundam. It is based on the Double Zeta Gundam. If you built that kit, which I have not, but you will still notice some similarities. Like even right here, these legs are pretty Double Zeta-ish. I'm just going to go through each part individually first, because that's a Super Robot's role. I will note that this is a model kit. I have not done any finishing work. All I've done is take the piece off the runners and put stickers on. So there's going to be nub marks, there's no panel lining. I just wanted to show it as it would look if you took it out of the box and just put it together. I will be going back later and, cleaning up things, doing some panel lining. One particular point will need some paint. But with that, let's get started with the individual pieces with Sora Tryon. Okay, so as you'll probably note, Sora Tryon is a bird. Sora means sky in Japanese, for those who didn't know. It is mostly going to make up the legs of Tryon 3, though the head piece here will become a piece of the weapon, and then the wings just kind of come off, because they're beam wings, they go away. First thing to know about this is this bit right here is a sticker. It looks ugly on the camera, it looks just as ugly in person. I do not like this part, and it will be replaced with paint. But I just wanted to, show it, because that's what it kind of looks like. It is a, just standard Bandai foil sticker, and it has to go over, 3 different bumps, and then wrap around the sides, and it looks awful. If you ever get this kit and you can get some yellow paint, I would suggest trying your hand at painting it. Because it's not a large section, but the sticker just looks bad. I honestly think it would be better just left completely blue without the sticker. I will also note the white bits and the eyes here, those are also stickers. These were a pain to get on, but once I got them on properly, they look fine to me. So, those don't really need to be painted. You could if you wish, but it's not necessary. The only other stickers were the black bits in the vents here. That's not a huge issue. They go in just fine, or you could do it with a lining marker. So, but no, Sora Tryon's probably my favorite of them. Outside of the sticker, I think he looks fantastic. It's a goofy robot part bird with thrusters on the legs and then leg talons, which is just hilarious. These do close up a bit, though, and they can open up all the way, though you cannot, you can't point them downward. This is as far as the top piece will go, and the bottom piece will go that far, so you're kind of stuck like that. But yeah, it's pretty nice. This bit moves fully if you like it to, then this will rotate and the joints will bend. So if you wanted to, I suppose you could also have it kind of, more back like that. Though I would also, these will rotate on their own and kind of pivot up and down, though it is a bit tight. So you could have it like that if you wish. I will note the beam wings, I don't have this kit, but I think they're the same beam wings that came with the high-grade Star Build Strike from the first series. If you have that, just in pink instead of green, or pink instead of blue. Because there wasn't the effect part runner was just labeled effect part, and there were some pieces not used, so I'm thinking it was on the original Build Strike, or Star Build Strike, or for some other kit at least. But yeah, this one looks pretty good, and I will show off one really quick kind of goofy thing. You can take the head off. And it also came with the Neocore fighter from Double Zeta Gundam. And it will just peg into this ball joint right here, so you could basically have like airplane bird if you want to be super goofy. Yeah, that's just another option. Anyway, yeah, of the three pieces, like I said, I think Sora Tryon's my favorite. So, again, aside from this, which that's getting fixed later. So next we will move on to Umi Tryon. Okay, so Umi Tryon, Umi meaning ocean, is a sea-based thing. My two immediate guesses are either a stingray or a horseshoe crab. But I'm not an expert on sea creatures, and this takes some creative liberties anyway. If you look at it this way, it's pretty obvious this is the upper torso and arms. It's not as obvious from the top here. It doesn't look bad, but it's probably the most boring of the three parts in my mind. Just because, there are moving points, but they're not meant to move in this mode. It's just kind of a static sea vessel, which also flies because every single submersible super robot component can also inexplicably fly. But yeah, it doesn't look bad. It's got, I think these are supposed to be missile launchers in here or something. And it's got these, nice kind of reflective pieces for eyes. And then the tail, which very obviously becomes a handle of something. But, yeah, it's little boring. The red and blue are nice, contrast to each other. And it doesn't look bad, like I said, it just doesn't do much. Also, I've never been a fan of the oceanic parts of super robots. As far as I can tell, there's no way to, force the core fighter in here to be, the Double Zeta equivalent of the top fighter. I think being able to do that on the Sora Tryon was just kind of a leftover of how they had it combined. But yeah, these will move. I guess you could do it like this. That would look kind of better in submersible mode at least. These yellow bits are stickers. They look fine. I probably got some a little crooked, but it's not too bad. And there's no molding here, so painting this, you'd have to be pretty precise with a brush, which I am not. But yeah, it's of the three, I think this is probably my least favorite, but again, it's not bad. It's just, I think it's a little boring. Next, we'll move on to the main piece, piloted by the guy whose name I actually remember, Riku Tryon. Okay, so here's Riku Tryon, piloted by Minato Sakai, who's probably my favorite new character from the show, really, which doesn't speak much to the other protagonists, but he was fun. This is obviously a lion. I like to call it a Super Robot Wars lion because it is stocky, has a giant head and a short body, so, if you look at the Super Robot Wars games with Zoids in them, this is kind of what they patterned the Ligers off of. But it's nice. It's, you've got the stickers or actually the white teeth are stickers. I thought I was going to hate them, but actually in practice they work just fine. The eyes are also obviously stickers, and they are also just fine. There's molding for the eyes if you want to paint them, but I like the reflectiveness of the stickers. So, I'm good with that. Got a little bit of red up here, this is mostly kind of the chest plate piece, and then the rest of it forms the backpack. But my biggest issue is just so much yellow. I wish, and I'm probably going to paint some on, the legs or something, just some other color, just break it up a little bit. But the molding is good. You've got the beam cannons, and then these two upper pieces are beam cannons and or beam sabers, because this is Double Zeta Gundam, who gives no cares. They look fine. They pivot up and down. They can do this individually. So that's good. And they will, you can do this, but this is mostly for combined mode to bring it up over the shoulders. There are some nub mark issues, particularly with the rounded bits here, just because of how they're molded on the runner. Those need to be cleaned up quite a bit, but yeah, otherwise everything looks fine. You do have possibility in the both sets of legs pretty well, because these do fold up when you combine. So, and then the tail also moves a bit. Yeah, this is my second favorite. Though actually, after I noticed the kind of sideways shield formation on the Tryon, it's kind of growing on me a bit more. Yeah, good piece. So, with that, we shall get to combining. Okay, so I wish I could scream, "Let's Tryon" in my deepest, manliest super robot voice, and then play like a beautiful choreographed combination sequence for these, but one, I think the other people in my house would probably think I've gone crazy, and two, this is actually kind of complex combined because they went for a part swapping combination, which I'm actually fine with because I've built the Master Grade Zeta Gundam, which went for a quote unquote perfect transformation and is a floppy, kind of not great kit. So I'm approving of part swapping, at least as far as model kits go, whenever they do it. So I'm gonna start with Sora Tryon because that's the legs, which means we can stand it up. So you're gonna actually remove the thrusters, remove the actual lower leg bits. And I apologize if this is like kind of jumpy and gets a bit out of focus, but yeah. So basically you bear it down to this, and then these get twisted around. And if you've built a Gundam kit before, this looks an awful lot like a lower torso. So that's that for now. The legs you gotta do some stuff with. And actually, just before, that is our pile of extra parts for transforming. So, pull this off. Drop this. And then you pull off these side leg plates. And then there are 4 little pieces. And again, I'm dropping everything all over this. 4 little pieces that look like this. And they go on here, kind of like triangle-like. And what these do is they take those other pieces and they kind of help them spread out a bit. So, then you fold these up. So they're more, like this versus like this. So, then you just put. I always forget how these go. I think it's yellow on the outside. And if I get these wrong, I will just switch them after combining it. But so yeah, there's one leg. I will just do the other one really quick. But yeah, I'm with Gunpla at least. With Transformers, it's different because they are designed with the transformation in mind to hopefully make the completed toy stable. With Gundam kits, they usually try to make the transformation accurate to the animation. And I totally just lost a piece. There it is. Which means if the transformation is horribly complex, again, the original Zeta Gundam. Double Zeta is not as bad, but the original Zeta Gundam is probably the most complex transforming robot I've seen that isn't like flat out magic. The resulting kit will be pretty unstable, at least in my mind. At least the one I've built, which is the original Zeta Gundam Master Grade, I have not built the 2.0, so if that's better, good on them. But just in general, I do prefer. Anyway, then you put the feet on, which are just they have to come off. But yeah, in general, I just prefer making a stable, good model kit over having a completely accurate transformation sequence. Okay, so there is a lower Gundam torso. So we'll move on to Umi next. Oh, I should also mention these are just Tamashi stages. They didn't come with the kit. I've just been using them to prop up the extra parts because they don't exactly have landing gear. So this comes off. This should come off. Okay, yeah, this comes off here, and the entire middle section comes out, and the arms come off of this. So this is just an extra piece that just goes away. So here's our torso. We can actually just plug it on there right now. And then these are the... Focus on real quick. These are where the arm joints go into. Again, apologies for the focusing issue. There we go. So the arms just peg in there. And there's one on the other side. And I hopefully line those up correctly. Otherwise they're going to be a little off. Okay. Okay, yeah, there's my issue. Okay, so the thrusters just come off. And then you just shove the hands on. These are just normal fist hands. It has another couple hands, but then these just rotate around like this. And it's a model kit, so if stuff comes off, it's not a huge issue. And there's, we're getting there. I mean, this is recognizable as a robot. Riku, you pull off this entire piece with the red bit. Fold these up a little. Actually, you fold them up and then in. You collapse the limbs Voltron style, basically. And then you do not do that. Those are anyway. Here's probably the trickiest part is these yellow bits here. If I can get them out of the way. Come off and then peg back in, and you kind of have to like wiggle them out and in. So they come off that way and they peg in this way. So it's not too difficult. It's a little, this is not transforming a transformer where it is. I can do it in 5 minutes, or actually, 5 minutes with practice. Tail folds up. Those fold flat against the back. And then these, I think, fold. Yeah, I think these fold this way. Anyway, then there's a peg in here. Just to mention this bit, I forgot to mention this with Riku. This could be used as a Tamashi stage, or a stand peg too, if you want. But this pegs out, and then this will be the backpack. So the backpack will just peg into here, and then the yellow bits rest against the shoulder, which prevent it from flopping back and forth. Then the chest goes on. And finally, as a separate piece, I shall form the head. And that is the completed, as I pull the arm off, that is the complete transformation of the Tryon 3. So, looking like 8 minutes, so not terrible, but again, not super simple. Okay, so completed now, Tryon 3 looks pretty darn good in my mind. I love the colors, which are very classic-y Super Robot. I'm immediately thinking of like Daitarn 3, Zambot 3, a little bit Dioja. If you've never heard of those, go look them up. They're all like 70s-ish Super Robots. The lion in the chest, of course, makes me think of the Brave series, which like especially X Kaiser and Gao Gaigar. And then the mouth can still open and close if you like. But this head crest is, I want to say it's almost exactly like Daitarn 3's. If it's not exactly, it's very, very close. And I should mention I have, I guess, de-safetied it, because usually they come with little, like kind of extended pegs to make them look a little blockier. I shaved those off with a knife and a file, so. But yeah, overall, it looks nice. It's very identifiably Double Zeta-ish in this form. Decently posable. It's a little, you have a lion on its back, so it is fairly back heavy. but it looks good. I think this backpack's a little plainer than Double Zeta's, but it still looks good. I like the fact that it is a combined robot. Though again, like Riku Tryon, I do think it's a lot of yellow, so I think some paint will I'm thinking of doing like a different color for these upper leg bits. So, but yeah, it looks good. It's got the eye bits are obviously a sticker because most Gundams are. It's got the high mega cannon, the Double Zeta. It's got the shields. In the show, the shields will fold up like this and become like swords. So you can do that if you like. Posability's pretty good. The arms are a little wonky with it. Head's on a double ball joint, so you got some motion, though you are blocked by the back plate. Shoulders, you can go for giving the shields. You can go just out. You can rotate decently, though the shoulder will bump into the backpack a bit. The elbows are where it gets a bit weird, because you have a rotation up here and then one down here, but these red parts right here are individual pieces, and if you like try to bend the elbow and turn it, that happens. So you got to be careful with that. Also, just its general standing pose is kind of like Guerrilla Army, to where the elbow bend is on the inside. You can have it like this, but then you have the shields back there, so like I said, it's not bad. It's the Double Zeta has the same issue, so it's just the design of the robot versus translate over the toy. Then the wrists are on up ball joints, so there's stuff you can do with that. A single ball joint in the waist. The legs are on the old school. They're a ball joint. Newer Gundam kits have like a set of. I'll probably show build burning in a second, but a set of pins that get a bit more motion. But this is fine. I'm not expecting the Double Zeta to be pulling off like kung fu moves. There's a thigh rotation up here, much though it's a bit blocked by the crotch. Double jointed knee, which can, well, actually, the knee is weird because it's technically double jointed, but there's not a ton of motion in the second joint, so we can go like that, so not bad. Then ankle's pretty free to move around. Yeah, pretty good. You just gotta watch the back heaviness, and then there is a peg to put it on a stand, so if you choose to do that, you can. So for accessories, as I mentioned before, these were beam sabers. It never did this in the show, and I'm totally going to mess up getting these off. There we go. These are actually really hard to slide out. At least properly. There we go. Okay, so it has beam sabers. Also, I'll show this off now that I've removed the beam sabers from this. The cannons they can fold up and, in whatever fashion you like, to have them pointing forward so it can shoot things. But it has a set of extra hands, which they're not like trigger hands, or open hands. They're open with they're just being a pain. There we go. With a slot here, and one on the beam sabers, so you can put them in hand like this, because Double Zeta's beam sabers were huge. These are actually straight from the Double Zeta too, so this isn't for Tryon 3. Then you have a beam saber blade, so you can have it wielding a beam saber, and it of course comes with two of those. And I'm just going to slide the other one on because I need this other hand later anyway. So, yeah, if you want to have them dual wielding beam sabers, even though Tryon 3 never did this in the show, it's probably the only attack it didn't use. It's got those. There's no rifle or anything. Most of what Tryon 3 did in the show were like super robot beam attacks, like obviously these cannons and that high mega cannon from Double Zeta. Fired twin laser out of the eyes, which are a Guy King reference. It launched its fists off like rocket punches. Various stuff like that. A lion roar attack. So lots of fun super robot-y stuff, but none of it really makes for accessories. But the big accessory, the thing I love about this the most, and I will just remove the beam sabers, is the, and I'm going to pronounce this horribly wrong, I'm sure, the Hypermanovsky Chohoken, which I haven't seen the kanji, but like I think that's either Hypermanovsky Super Cannon Sword or Hypermanovsky like Super Phoenix Sword. Basically what you do is you take the bird head from Sora Tryon and the tail from Umi Tryon, and you just put them together. Then you stick the beam sabers down here. And then you have, these are separate from the wing parts, but you have little tiny like beam wings which plug into this, the part with the ugly yellow sticker. And you kind of have to make sure they're going opposite directions, so one kind of points upward, one kind of points downward, so like that. And there's some on the other side too. And then the main attraction on this, the blade. This is the blade next to the Gundam. It's pretty big. So it just goes straight into the open mouth. Like that. And again, size comparison next to the Gundam. Pretty big. So now the issue is, this is a gigantic sword. Getting it to hold it properly is a bit of a pain. So give me just a minute, because yeah, trying to do this normally. So that is it holding it. It will not hold this under its own weight. So that's why I kept Tamashi stages around, really. Plus the bright. Okay, so this, there we go. This is the classic, like, giant sword pose, probably first seen in X Kaiser, but imitated so many times throughout history. This looks awesome. This is why I love this thing. It's just, it is a downright pain to pose it properly because the sword is so huge. But yeah, and like the proper angle to get is like kind of looking up at the blade. But yeah, just going to zoom out just a bit to show how that is how giant that sword is. So yeah, this is why I love, well, it's not why I love it. I love the kit because it's a Gundam that references old super robots, but it is an awesome kit. And here, just for comparison, pardon me rummaging around because I didn't think to bring it over earlier. Also pardon it for being kind of dusty, but just for comparison, here it is next to the other, well, one of the other Build Fighters Try kits. I have the Build, as it loses its VFin, put it this way. Here's next to the build burning, so it's... Here, we'll just move the sword for now. You can hold the sword handle without the blade, so that's not an issue. Yeah, we'll just do that. So yeah, here it is next to the build burning. It is a bit bigger. Not too much, though. I think the build burning is kind of vaguely based on the Impulse Gundam, which isn't... It's a little smaller than the Double Zeta, but not too much. But for actual height... I'm going to say about 5.5 at the head. 6 with the cannons like that, you know, depending on the viewpoint. So, yeah, it's a chunky kit. It is, as I said before, fairly back heavy, but not. You can pose it. Just you know, if you do this, yeah. But yeah, I love this kit. Again, I am biased because it is a giant super robot, so. But it is a fun kit. It is probably the Build Fighters kit I've been looking most forward to. It and Star Winning, because I just like the gimmick of Star Winning being a SD that became a real. But yeah, that would be it for now. So until next time, keep on trying on.